Hello, welcome back. This video is a little bit different to my podcast type videos. This is a bite-size, easy to digest informational type video. I am now using a different microphone. Thank you, Sam. What an absolute blessing you gave to me there. Big shout out, what a guy. So I don't have to wear the headphones now, and hopefully I should be a little bit clearer. Although it can probably pick up this squeaky chair a little bit better than my other mic is, so I'm going to try and stay planted. The purpose of this video really is to just give you 5 easily digestible things that can change the way you perceive reality or the way that reality reacts to you. This particular video is 5 ways to appear intelligent. So obviously, intelligence means something different to every single person, really. And it's not about how to be intelligent so much as to just simply how to appear intelligent. Okay, so the first one is breathe through your nose. Okay, your mouth has a lot of jobs to do. It's got to eat, it's got to drink, it's got to talk. Breathing is not necessarily for your mouth. Whilst it can do that, the nose is so much better at it. Breathe through the nose. Now let me just show you an example. This is me breathing through my nose. Okay, now this is me breathing through my mouth. Hopefully you can immediately see the difference that breathing through your nose looks far sharper and far more intelligent than breathing through your mouth. Okay, breathe through your nose straight away, immediate impact. You look far more sharper, aware, and therefore have the appearance, the illusion per se, of intelligence. Let's jump on to part 2. So, shut up and listen. Okay, the most intelligent and powerful person in any conversation is the one who is not talking, especially if you are over talking. Another point of this is that when you're listening to someone, don't think, how can I respond? What can my response could be? What you should be thinking as you're listening is, what can I learn? No matter what you believe of a person's social status or their intelligence or anything like that, you have something to learn off every single person on this planet. Everybody has something that they can give you. So, don't have a conversation just so you can respond and assert your own intellect or intelligence. In fact, sit back and just truly listen to what others have got to teach you. You can get far more information from the university of life, from the everyday people around you, than you can actually going to a university. I know that may be controversial to say, but the people that surround you in your life have a lot to teach you. When you have a conversation with them, make sure that your focus is on listening and not responding. Shut up and listen. Okay, part 3. Read more. Well, this is probably the most obvious one. However, I'm not telling you to read intellectual texts or articles that are peer reviewed and all that stuff. The purpose of reading more is very much so, okay, the way we speak is developed based on what we've most recently heard and listened to or read, right? So if you can read as much as you possibly can, as frequently as you can, you will find a higher vocabulary. You'll find ways that you can string sentences together. For example, if you want to get into like rap music, one thing I'd advise to do is to read children's books, because they're rhythmic. They have rhythms to them and rhyme schemes that you may find quite interesting. It's not always, you don't have to read a book from some, well-known scientist like Neil deGrasse Tyson or Stephen Hawking. That's not necessarily going to increase your intelligence or how you appear to be intelligent. What you should be doing is just reading, just so that you're getting many different variations of how to speak, how to structure sentences. And the more you read, you don't really have to incorporate that into your language. It will just flow through. It's very clear when you're speaking to a well-read person and somebody who isn't well-read, because their sentences will be structured much more fluently and they will be much more varied, especially in the use of words that they choose to use. Okay, so let's go on to number 4. Number 4 brings us a little bit back to number 2. Stop thinking. And it may seem a bit strange. How can I be more intelligent by thinking less? But actually, this is actually really, really important. When you overthink, when your mind is constantly thinking, it doesn't have the space to compartmentalize what you have absorbed through the day. Try to find just little gaps in your life just to stop thinking, to stop consuming, 5, 10, 15 minutes just away from the phone, the TikTok, the short videos, the long videos, just to give your mind space to think. You'll find sleeping is a lot easier too, because if you force your mind to only be able to break down its daily information, only when you sleep, you'll find that you'll have a restless sleep, because it's got a hell of a lot to do in a relatively short space of time. However, if you can find just little pockets of the day just to ease the mind. One thing I like to do, it's a bit tricky through the winter, but as we're now coming towards the spring and the summer, is to find spaces in my environment where I can hear the birds or I can hear the stream of running water, so I can just listen to that. Don't think about how it sounds, just simply listen to it. Aim for just 5 minutes every now and again of just no thoughts. And what you'll find is it'll get easier every day on from then. And you'll find that you're much more capable of absorbing information. Thinking is actually, I would say, a detriment to intelligence. Your mind can only absorb so much. If you know computers, it's like random access memory. You have to give the computer space to then break that memory down, or it'll get full. And when it gets full, everything starts to move slower. Things start to buffer on the computer system. Whereas if you create a project and then take a break, give your computer time to stop thinking, it will perform its jobs in a much more efficient way. Your mind works in a very similar way too. So now we're on to the last one. Breathe deeply. And this ties into pretty much everything. But here's the thing, right? When you breathe, you want to be expanding your diaphragm. You want to essentially breathe into your stomach. Breathe as deep as you can. The brain needs oxygen. It's an essential part of thinking, is that you're getting oxygen. Breathe as deep as you can. Try this challenge. Every day, try to be conscious of the breath and just count how many seconds or how many beats you can breathe in for. And then try to breathe out for that same number. Every day, just try to go a bit longer. If you can do 3 seconds, great. Do 3 seconds and keep repeating it. And then the next day, see if you can hit 4. The next day, see if you can hit 5. You'll be very surprised how quickly you're hitting the 8, 9, 10 numbers just by breathing deeply. In through the nose. Remember the first point. Breathe in through the nose. Whether you breathe out through the mouth or the nose, in all honesty, I don't think it makes that much of a difference. But just try to breathe as deeply as you can. And when you're conscious of your breathing, you'll start to notice that you're no longer overthinking. You're no longer thinking. And in order to breathe deeply, you've shut up and you have to listen. So this one, I put as 5 for a reason. And also meditation, which is massively important, especially for the growth of growth hormones, which, you know, stops you from aging so quick, stops you from getting older and more ill, and you'll fight a lot of diseases if you have a healthy growth of growth hormones. Comes from taking medication. Meditation is one of the great ways to do this, and the only real way to truly meditate is to be conscious of the breath. After all, spiritual comes from the word spiri, which is Latin for breath. A spiritual person is a person who breathes properly. So, breathe through your nose, because straight away with appearances you look sharper, and after all, that's the purpose of the nose. You could say the purpose of the nose is also to smell, but you've got to breathe through the nose to be able to use that sense. So, quite clearly we know the nose is very much for breathing. Second one, shut up and listen, but listen properly. Don't listen to respond, just listen for the sake of listening. Think to yourself, what can this person teach me? What can I learn from this knowledge that's being passed on? You don't have to agree with it. That's the beauty of learning. You don't have to agree with everything you've learned, but it will help you to formulate a more educated opinion upon that topic. Number 3, read more. And that's not just to increase your intelligence, it's to increase the way that you come across words, the words you use, how you structure them. And bear in mind that what you listen to the most recently, what you listen to, what you read, and what you see is how you will structure your speech as you move forward. So the more that you're able to read, even if it's just little snippets, if it's little poetry, short stories, children's stories, it really doesn't matter. It's just a way of you being able to structure sentences in a much more creative way. Stop thinking, specifically overthinking, but just give your mind spaces to be blank so it can compartmentalize the day that it's had the information it's been given. And please remember to breathe deeply. Everything will appreciate it in your body, your muscles, your organs, and especially that brain. So thank you for listening. If you would like me to approach any other sort of topics in these short bite-size videos, please do comment them below. Any questions? Generally, I'll try to get to questions on my podcasts, which release every Monday, and I'm about to record my next one very shortly. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. God bless you. Be kind, be thoughtful, and remember, breathe deeply. God bless.